Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much. Sim Naya, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video where this brother was talking about how everybody think they are in competition with black people. And if you look around, I remember saying something like this, how Mexicans think that black people are overshadowing everything about them, right? And then when you listen to what they are saying, you definitely will understand that some people just want to drag black people into everything they do. Because tell me how in some conversation they said that you are outshadowing their own destiny, look for a way to accuse you, get you angry, and then deviate, right? They always talk about the superior people, and I am going to ask who actually told you people that there is something like superior and minority. It is some people that came up with that, but that is actually fallacy, right? The same people that know that the only thing they have is justice, and once you remove that, they do not have anything to hold on to. That is also one of the reasons why they are fighting so hard to make sure that they continue, in other words, to them is superiority. They continue to hold that position because they do not want anybody to revenge. But they forgot that people that look like me do not care anything about revenge. The only thing they are working towards just to dismantle the system that has been oppressing them. Let's get into this.
A year ago, I made a video. In that video, I gave an analysis on why there is so much pushback from other minority communities towards black people when we talk about black liberation or black unity. And it seems the last few days, the ICE protest has brought something up that kind of justifies this. So let me explain this again. The account that I had that video on has been banned. So the video clearly, TikTok has taken it away. And I never got to post it on Instagram. That was before I started posting on Instagram. So basically, this is what's going on. There is a global caste. Sorry, I'm just trying to enjoy the sun. There's a global caste globally, right? Of which white Europeans are on top and black Africans are at the bottom. Everyone else is in between. Some people like their position in the caste system, some people don't. But one thing is clear is nobody wants anyone who's beneath them to come above them. Last year, I remember I got an invitation when I was at the height of my doing lives on TikTok. I got an invitation by a Puerto Rican, and she wanted me to come to her live. I came to her live. As soon as I came in, she switched up. It was a completely different story. She was talking about how the Black liberation movement is taking away so much attention from the Taino indigenous movement. And I'm like, why did you bring me here to accuse me? She was like, yeah, because you're leading the black movement on TikTok and there's so much attention. People are watching your videos. They're not watching. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's when it hit me and I realized black liberation is a time bomb to every single person, including white people, mostly people who are not white. They're the ones threatened the most by this. And let me explain it. Let me give you an example, or let me play a scenario out here. If you remember, there was a story of, I remember watching a video too, it was on YouTube, of an Indian guy. In India, they have the Dalit, the Brahmin, right? They have more, but the Dalit are at the bottom of the caste system and the Brahmin are at the top of the caste system. 90% of the Indians you see in America are all Brahmin. The ones you see doing the Indian street food, those are the Dalits. So basically, this Dalit guy goes to drink water at a tap in India, but the tap apparently belongs to the Brahmin, and a bunch of Brahmin kids caught him and they beat the shit. They were his age. You can see they were his age, but they surrounded him. They beat him up. They pissed on him. They made him apologize. And I was saying, that guy, after going through that much humiliation, he's got nothing else in this world. In his world, he lives in India. He just got pissed on for drinking water at a tap of people who believe they're superior to him just because of how his caste, right? When he's done taking all this shit, at the end of the day, he gets to go home and cry and rub his wounds, and he gets one thing. He gets one thing. Him, every Latino, everyone else in this world, they get one thing. They get to look in the mirror and say to themselves, at least I'm not black. Because we are at the bottom. So they have nothing. But at least they have an entire racial group to look down on. So now we started this whole black unity, black liberation, and everyone knows the potential the black people have. They know the potential of the black American. They know the potential of the black Caribbeans. They know the potential of the black Europeans, and they fucking know the potential of Africa. And every one of them sits down and goes, holy shit, if these people actually achieve what they're trying to achieve, they're going to go from the bottom to the top. They're going to mess up the entire global racial order. The global caste system is going to be thrown into disarray. And here's the thing, no one knows which one of them is going to end up at the bottom. Everyone is afraid of being at the bottom. The Indians don't know if it's going to be them. The Latinos don't know if it's going to be them. The Arabs, the North Africans, they don't know if it's going to be them. Nobody, all these races, the Southeast Asians, they don't know if it's going to be them. The Eastern Europeans, the poor ones, the Slavs, where slave come from, they don't know if it's. No one knows what us throwing this global order into chaos would look like. They just know that it would get us from out of the bottom and put us at the top. And you can't spend your entire life looking down on someone only to realize they're about to do something that'll make you look up at them. Everyone, not just white people, everyone works against this. Black people, I need you to understand, when you come online and someone is arguing with you, the first thing you do, you need to go to their profile, look at them. For me, if it's a private account, I'm blocking you. You're not a black person. You're not a human. I'm talking to a bot. I'm talking to a Chinese man. I'm talking to an Indian. I'm talking to a Latino. I'm talking to somebody that is not black. If they have followings and they follow people, 0 pictures, 0 uploads, delete. You could use your discernment. My thing now is, if it's not an actual real human that I am looking at, we're not having that conversation. If it comes to blackness and issues of race, I am blocking you, and that's it. But the point, I hope everyone gets the point I'm trying to make here, is one thing everyone who's not white has in this world is, at least I'm not black. And black unity, right, is trying to take that away from them. And they cannot, they can never have that. Because if we take that from, what else? That is the only thing they have left in this world. And we're trying to rob them of that by uniting. They can never make that happen.
I am a black Egyptian. My father is much darker than I am. My mother is lighter than I am. In Egypt, people are identified by the religion first, not the race. So in Egypt, if you are Christian, you are a minority person. But if you're black, you're not a minority person. You are a part of the mainstream society. And I came from this background. And in Egypt, you identify as Arab and as Muslim. And in this country, when I first came, I identified myself as Arab American and Muslim first. And gradually, I became to identify myself as black. I came to the U.S. in 1978, and I became a U.S. citizen in 1985. When I became a U.S. resident, I was told by the Immigration and Naturalization that I am white. And I told them that I'm black, and they said, no, in this country, you are white. All Arabs in this country, all Arab immigrants are white. I didn't pay much attention in the beginning to this, because in the Arab world, we identify with our ethnicity first as Arabs, and then with the race second as black or white or whatever. But in this country, you identify with your racial group first and then with your ethnicity second. Gradually, I became black first and Arab second. And I rejected my white classification publicly for the first time in 1987, in February, as a panelist in a function sponsored by the Association of the Study of Black Life and History in Detroit. I said that I belong to 2 minority groups. I am Arab American and Black American, and I'm racially black and ethnically Egyptian. I was harassed by my employer right after that. I work for a white school district. The superintendent is white. All the associate superintendents are white, even though that we provide services to 30% black population.
All of this was done on purpose. The U.S. Census did this on purpose. Because when you go back and you actually go back to the, how do I explain this? When you look at the actual census globally, you come to realize there are not enough white people. There are not enough white people in the world. They know this, and they've been changing classifications. That's why we have the situation we have concerning immigration in America right now, because a vast majority of these people, when they got here, they were told they needed to classify as white. They needed to classify as white, and they took that to be white. They believed themselves to be white, except Trump and his people came and showed them you could be white on paper, but as long as you don't visually look European like one of us, you're not one of us. They're learning that the hard way. But globally right now, when you look at the census, you will find out that the white population is nowhere. Let me show you something. This is the global fertility rate map for 2024, last year. Can you see? Can you see? Let's do this. Can you see? Argentina, this part, whatever, they're not having enough babies to keep up their population. This one right here, this strip right here, they're barely having enough babies. This whole section, they're not having enough babies to keep up with their population. Right here, North America, United States, they're not having enough children to keep up with their population. Look at all of Europe, Asia, China, Indians. These people right here are the only ones have, and then look at the whole continent of Africa, and then look at West Africa. That is something they have known. That is something that scares the dog shit out of them, and that is something they're actively fighting against. This is why they're bringing GMOs to Africa. This is why Bill Gates is in Nigeria trying to force a vaccine, to which that in itself, all it's doing is going to affect fertility. I'm telling you, the world, once you start seeing the world for what it truly is and not what the white people are trying to make you see it for, brah. And I'm telling you, black people, we have this. When we unite, I'm telling you, this is our time. This is our time. Do not, FBA, y'all gotta stop this breaking off whatever. This is, the people who are funding Project 2025, they saw this coming. They're the ones funding Tariq Nasheed. What's it called? A Heritage Foundation. Go look this up. They are some of the original funders of Heritage of FBA, Heritage Foundation. They did this because they want to kill the reparations conversation, and they're trying to make sure that, look, I said it, a lot of people in America, a lot of black Americans are replacing their bloodline for white. That's how the white people have figured out to keep their population, to create self-hate in the black community, push pasta lobster on black women, push if it ain't snowing, I ain't going on black men. Now, y'all out here having all these mixed babies. Go look at the statistics for mixed children, how many of them actually marry white. Y'all all turning your bloodlines white. Diana Ross, Quincy Jones, look at, I'm telling you, man, do not fall for it, black people. Do not fall for it.
This is all I got from this video. And one thing I am very happy about is the fact that everybody is seeing what the other person is seeing. Nobody is seeing anything different. Nobody is seeing anything different. I think he was born in United States, but the parents are Nigerian. Okay, I think the parents are also American citizens. He is the son of former governor of northern state in Nigeria, right? He has lived in United States all his life, I guess. But the truth is that I love the fact that some people, I am saying what some people are saying. Some people are saying what I am saying, right? And we are saying literally almost the same thing. Why are we saying the same thing? We are saying the same thing because we are listening to black people. We are not saying the same thing because we did not hear black people say it. We heard them say it. That this has been something that they've been going through for decades. We did not understand it before, but at some point we listen and we can hear what they are saying, even without them speaking. Because another one is when you become friends with people, just analogy, right? When you become friends with people, there are sometimes your friend will not talk, right? But you can read what is going on. You can read a room, just like black people, when they come into a space, they read the room. And they know if this place is good. Even they will read the room and tell you that the air is not filtered enough. That is how they can read a room. So I am hoping and praying that all of us are all in sync, that we will not even have to hear you talk. But from the way you are, we will be able to sense what is going on. For like what he said, I made a video where I was talking about 3 Latino people that had podcasts, right? And they were talking about how they do not want black people to achieve, or like black people's experience has overshadowed every other person's their own experience. And this is also what he is saying. So which means I understood this. He understood this. And other people are also saying it. I did not see this video before making it. I already made that video before I saw this. The universe has a way of letting people know some certain things when it is time for you to know it. You can actually be ignorant all your life, but when it is time for you to be smart, it will just happen. This is just analogy, right? It's just like when you really have been working so hard, struggling, and when that success comes, it comes and it stays. So what am I saying in essence? What I am saying is that Black people, Africans most especially, and other people are also waking up. Not just only Africans, other countries, other people are also saying it, and they are waking up. The big fact is that what they are somewhat worried about is what we call revenge, right? But they actually do not know that is far from Black people's thought. The major thing my people are working towards is to dismantle that particular system that has raped people that look like me off. And sometimes I sit down and I am asking, who actually told you? How did this superiority of a thing, how did it start? Because sometimes I sit down, I think of it, and I am like, who told you that? How did you start that? They absolutely know that they just got one thing, and that it's on period. And that thing they got, they have used it, and they refuse to acknowledge that they have it. And this is it. They know how bad it would be if you, and other people unite, and they look for every way they can to make things not happen. The reality is that Africans are waking up. For other people, if they want to wake up, let them wake up. But I am sure this is a great and a teachable moment for everybody, including me, that it's speaking. Nobody is left out of this, right? They are seeing the fruit of their labor, what they voted for, and how it is affecting and ripping off their their eyes. If you want to learn, you definitely will learn. But if you do not want to learn, that is your problem. I cannot make you understand, and I cannot force you to understand. Yeah, like the other one where they were talking, like, sometimes I am like, you see all these vaccines they bring somewhere to where I know what I am saying. Everything Black people have said so far, there is no lie dictated. It's either you wake up or you don't wake up. Everything they have said so far, we probably were deaf and not listening, or we were listening but we couldn't hear. Everything. I remember there was a time, there was a video I brought about 3 years ago that actually gave me strike because they took that video down. Why? The video was talking about about population, how some people do not have resources to take care of themselves. That is my own people. You know where I come from? I am going to put it that way, where I come from. Yes, to them, they are not useful according to them in their own words. So there is no need for them having children. Did you hear that? But there is need for them to have more children. So when they mix up, that's why when Black people tell you that make sure you take care of yourself, stop taking some medications. If it is not necessary, make sure you do your herbal tea. All those roots that come from Mother Nature, there is nothing as beautiful as that. They knew what they were saying. I think I am just going to cut off here because you know what? I still want to continue to speak to us. I still want to come out here all the time to talk about us. Because each time I tell you that if I talk about some certain things, I know this channel will not be here anymore. But you know what? I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.